I'm Dafna, and this is how I made You and Me.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's break this down, go step by step. First thing we gotta do, open up the project. So I'll go over here to my computer, and first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up Splice. So here is where I have all of my projects backed up. So it's pretty much like a Google Drive, but for your music. And I personally use Logic Pro, but I believe there's support for a ton of other DAWs. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the file. And now let's look at each track. Let's see what I did. So I first had my friend Burke record bass for me. I myself am not the best bass player, so I figured it'd be good to have, someone who's actually good record the part. And he took my vision and turned it into a reality. So let's listen to that. Let's turn off the metronome. So that's fun, isn't it? It's groovy, it's nice, I love it. It's a good basis for the song. But it's not enough, we need more. So I knew I wanted to start the beginning off pretty simple. So I have the vocals come in. But along with the vocals, I wanted something else. So I went over to Splice, and I knew I wanted a hi-hat on top of it. So I looked up hi-hat loop, okay? And then right here, these are loops that I already have saved. So let's listen to them. We have this one. That's pretty fun, but that's not really what I'm looking for. What about this one? Let's see. Again, that's groovy, that's cool, not what I'm looking for. Let's listen to this one. Yeah, so that is more of what I was looking for. So what I did is I went over to Logic. I created a new audio file. And let's call this hi-hat example, because as you see right above that, I have the actual hi-hat that I did. And so what I did is I dragged over this sample into Logic. And then I had to check to see if the BPM matched what I had. So I'm at 105 BPM, if you look at that. And over here we see that it's at 116. So that is not the same number. So what I did is you can isolate that. I like putting a loop over it. You don't really need to though. And then I just increase the tempo to 116. Double click it. And now we turn on flex. What this does is this aligns each hit of the hi-hat to the correct beat. And then when I change the tempo back to 105, it moves it along with it. So if you listen to this now, so now it's on beat. So now we have the hi-hat at the right tempo, and now we can go about it, put it everywhere we want, copy paste, loop it around, and now I have it with the song. So let's hear it along with the bass line. That sounds pretty sick. So now that I have the hi-hat and the bass together, I knew I didn't want just hi-hat for the percussion. I wanted something a little more, something with a little more oomph. So I'll show you how I made the whole drum kit, the whole kit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new instrument track. And then we're gonna go to this instrument drop down over here and select Drum Machine Designer. So this is something in Logic's newest update, and I think it is the best thing that has ever happened. It's so intuitive and so easy to use. I love it. But I go over to, you guessed it, Splice, look up some samples. Let's say I want a kick. So let's listen to the kick drum. So there's this one. That's not what I'm looking for. Also, not a little too much high end, What about this one? Ooh. Now that's the one. It's deeper, it has a little cluck throat, as it said, which is a cool element. And I just like that. So I'm gonna add this to the kick. And then I'm gonna keep doing the same thing with every sample I want. So we look for snare, I ended up choosing this one. You can hear that. It's a nice like splat. I like that. And then I kept doing the same thing with every element of the drum, with the hi-hat, with just additional rim shots and stuff like that. And then I had it over here and messed around with it. So now you can hear what that sounds like. Now with the hi-hat. And with the bass. So that's pretty sick. And I think that's a good basis for the song. So now we have to add all the melodic elements, you know? So we got the keys. This is Radio Bred from the Stage 7.3 plugin. Just some nice chords. And then I added in a pad. Now we can hear that along with everything else. And now for the most exciting part of the song. I was so happy when I found this sound. It's called Mega Drive. It's in the DX7 plugin. I just am in love with the sound. I literally feel like I'm at a French rave in the 80s every time I hear the sound. And I hope you feel the same way. But listen to this. It's just so cool. Now onto the vocals. Okay, so I am a sucker for layering vocals. I love just adding so many vocal layers. Unfortunately for this song, I didn't do as many as I would like. As you can see, there aren't too many harmonies here, but I do have definitely a lot more ooze and background vocals. So let's listen first to the main vocals. For the presets, I actually used the ones off of Billie Eilish's Ocean Eyes project. I did mess around with them a little bit to give it more of the sound I wanted, but I mostly kept it pretty consistent with what Phineas did on that track, and I really like how it sounds.
I don't know how to break it or how to put it in words. I don't know if I thought it.
Yeah, so that sounds really cool, and then you can hear it along with all the harmonies.
Because you thought of it first.
Now let's go to the chorus so we can hear all the backing vocals. So these ones are similar presets, but just a lot more reverb.
You and me, you and me, you and me, you and me.
And then let's go to the ooze. Again, similar presets, just a lot of reverb. And now let's put it all together with everything else.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to say it.